Good evening, everyone. My name is Aleda Nelson, and it's my pleasure to welcome all of you here this evening to our fifth forum and our final forum for this series, which is our 24th annual series of Interfaith Forums. And I would like to thank the SGI Buddhist Center for hosting us this evening, and thank always our Interfaith Council and our Interfaith, there's that telephone that didn't get turned off. So just, yeah, everybody turn off your phones. Yes, okay. So we thank our volunteers, our board, everyone who's involved in the program. We are going to be offering the discs, or the DVDs, or whatever we call them these days, of the series for purchase when everything is completed. And so if you go to the Interfaith Forums, Interfaith Council's website, which is on your brochure, in a couple of weeks, if you'd like to purchase one of the series for this year or last year, you can do that. This program is only one of many that is produced by the Interfaith Council of Southern Nevada, all of which are dedicated to the reduction of prejudice of all kinds. And this one in particular is dedicated to reducing misunderstanding and misinformation and prejudice related to the world of interfaith. And so we try to light one candle to illuminate the darkness in that area. Tonight's topic is religious guidance on achieving peace. And that topic and its explanation are in your brochures, but I'll read it so everybody knows what we're going to be expecting tonight. Briefly, each faith will present their guidance regarding how to deal with conflict and/or advance peace. And they'll be talking about religious principles with which others may not agree and which may impact the lives of others. And if there are such principles, how would they be addressed by that particular religion as it lives in the world arena? So we're really looking for text, scriptural text related to how to achieve peace and how to deal with conflict. How many of you are here for the first time? Okay, great. That's always wonderful to see new faces, and welcome back everyone who's been here before. But I ask because I always want to know if I really need to go through the purpose of the program, and I think I will. The purpose of these interfaith forums is, first of all, to hear the actual teachings of each of the religions represented. And that is necessary in this world today because everybody has an opinion, or most likely misinformation about what everybody else believes, and is acting on that misinformation to a large degree. So we're here to try to provide an opportunity so everyone can hear what these religions actually believe on this topic. We ask our panelists not to interpret for anyone else, and so you get to hear strictly from their point of view. It's also a chance to meet people from different faiths, and it's an opportunity to visit different houses of worship. And toward that end, at this moment, I'd like to introduce Mr. Joel Ferguson, who is the USA Region Vice Leader for SGI Buddhism, and he's going to explain to you how members of this community utilize this beautiful building and then offer a prayer or a chant in the tradition of Buddhism. So, Joel?
Thank you, Aleda. Welcome, everybody. We're really proud that you would come and join us tonight. We practice Nichiren Buddhism, which is founded by a Buddhist priest back in the 1200s named Nichiren, who studied all of the Buddha's teachings and realized that the last teaching that the Buddha taught in his life, which was called the Lotus Sutra, was the sutra that leads all people to enlightenment. So we practice, the basic of our practice is actually the title of that sutra, that teaching, and that is Nam Myoho Ringe Kyo. Nam means devotion, Myoho means wonderful mystic law, Ringe actually means lotus blossom, but it symbolizes cause and effect, and Kyo means the teaching of the Buddha. So we are really focused on youth. We have many activities for youth, And tonight we have one of our young men leader who's going to be speaking to you. But just a little bit about our practice. Our practice has 3 pillars, and that is faith, practice, and study. Faith really is an expectation or confidence, because we realize that nobody walking into a Buddhist meeting is going to know much about it. So you couldn't just walk in and go, oh, great, what I've been looking for all my life. It's really just an expectation that if I do this practice, good things will happen. The second part is practice, and we practice by chanting Nam-myoho Renge Kyo for ourselves and for other people, the people that we care about. When we say this phrase, this Nam-myoho Renge Kyo is actually the name of the law of the universe, and we chant this phrase, it goes out into the universe and touches everybody that we are concerned about. The last part of our practice is study, and we study the writings of Shakyamuni Buddha, the Buddha from India, as well as Nichiren, the founder of this sect. And just so you know, Buddhism has as many or more different ways of practicing as Christianity does. So it's just like the Baptists and the Episcopals, we have all different types of Buddhism, and we practice this one phrase, Nam-myoho Renge Kyo. So at this time, our prayer, we don't say, oh, I pray for this, and I pray for you to do this or have this. The way we pray is by saying Nam-myoho Renge Kyo. And we're actually praying for our own prayers to be realized and the prayers of everybody else to be realized. So we're going to do this a little bit. I want to, if you'd like, teach you how to say Nam-myoho Renge Kyo, and then we'll chant for just a minute or two just so you can feel it. The scroll back here is the enlightened life of the Buddha Nichiren. And so we face this scroll to bring out our own Buddha life condition, that everybody has this Buddha life condition, and the scroll and the chanting of Nam-myoho Renge Kyo actually stimulates or activates that so we can experience it. So everybody, if you would, repeat after me. Nam, Myoho, Renge, Kyo. 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 You did great. You see, it's really easy. The great thing, as far as what we understand, is that even without saying, I am a Buddha, I am a Buddhist, you can still, everybody can get benefits, can experience that high Buddha life condition just by saying the phrase. So it is a practice. It's not really a belief. It's a practice that we do for that. So I really want to welcome everybody here tonight. Thank you so much for supporting the Interfaith Council, and let's have a great forum. Thank you.
Thank you, Joel. This is the format for the program. First of all, our panelists will have 6 minutes in which to share with you their comments. I will ring, or I won't, the teapot will ring after 5 minutes. And then they know that they have 1 minute left to go. But she's been acting up lately. So when she goes, for only a minute, it's not so much. So I may have to just go ding. And that will be when they have to stop. So they'll be speaking in the way that they are listed in the brochure. They will be introduced only once. I wish we could say everything about them all because they're all wonderful, but we can't. And following those presentations, we'll have an opportunity for questions and answers. And the way we do that is if you'll write your questions as they come to your mind, if you'll raise your hands, Robert Meacham and Dennis Ortwine will pick up your questions. They're in the back right now. And if they will bring the questions to me, and then I'll be able to make sure that we have questions for the panelists when it's time for the Q&A. And one other item, if you want your question answered, you have a more high probability of it being answered if you're asking a question of one individual as opposed to everybody. We just don't have the time for all of them to answer all of the questions. The ground rules are these. We assume that our religious beliefs are our most deeply held beliefs, the place, the wellspring from which all of our actions flow, and as a result, we are not attempting to change each other's beliefs. There is no proselytizing, no debate, no challenge to anyone's beliefs. We don't interpret for anyone else's beliefs. We speak only for ourselves. We ask our panelists to draw primarily from their scriptures, so you get the basis of the religion for most of the practitioners throughout the world, not just one individual person's interpretation. And finally, we accept what is. Where we agree, we agree. Where we disagree, we disagree. And so our koan is that we agree to disagree. Our panelists this evening will be speaking to this topic of peace. The first person will be representing the interfaith or goddess-based perspective is Priestess Candace Ross from the Temple of Goddess Spirituality. Then we'll hear from Rabbi Sanford Akselrad of congregation near Tamid representing Judaism. Mr. Jeff Foster will represent Buddhism, and he is from SGI Buddhism, and he is a USA zone leader. From the Sikh, Islam, we have Imam Mujahid Ramadan, and from the Sikh faith, Dr. Upinder Singh from the Gurdwara, Baba Deep Singh Ji. Yay, I said that. And from the Baha'i faith, Mr. Hosny, who is a member of the faith. And you all have your evaluations, you have your pencils. We hope that you use them both and return them to us because your comments guide what we do next year. And we ask also that you consider becoming a member. And at this moment, we ask that we open our minds to hear truth where it is spoken, and that we feel the spirit of the one who created us all as we share with one another what we believe.